full time at the Emirates, and it does end Arsenal 2, Wolves 1. A scoreline that makes the game sound a lot closer than it actually was. A game that Arsenal, especially in the first half, really dominated and probably should have been out of sight a lot earlier. And then a sloppy mistake from us gives Wolves a cheap goal that gives them some hope towards the end. That we managed to see out for the 3 points to put us 4 points clear from Manchester City at the top of the table before City's game against Spurs tomorrow. And it's a game of plenty of positives for Arsenal and 1 or 2 negative points that I'm going to go into. So, the game started, and Arsenal, for the first time in the Premier League this season, started really fast, really well. And we got an early goal. We haven't scored in the first 15 minutes of a game so far this season in the Premier League. And today we ended up getting 2 with inside 13 minutes. The first one coming from Bukayo Saka. Obviously, he's got to have something to say. Another goal contribution from him. Good play down the right-hand side. Gives it to Jesus. Jesus with some good hold-up play on the edge of the box. Manages to spin his defender a bit. Gives it to Tomi, then puts it through ball to Saka. Albeit a little deflection off Dawson. Dawson looked like he was a little bit hesitant. Didn't know whether to make the foul or not. The tackle or not, shall I say. Probably scared of giving away a penalty. Which then falls to Saka on his right foot. Puts it past the keeper to put us 1-0 up. And we never really stopped from there, to be honest. Kept playing really well. And then on the 13th minute, we score a really good goal from the skipper, Martin Odegaard. Probably one of our, if not our best team goal this season. Saka squares up his man on the right, gets past him, puts a cross to the back stick. Lands to Zinchenko, plays a lovely 1-2 with Jesus. Cuts it back to the edge of the box. And it's a typical Martin Odegaard finish, to be honest. Edge of the box on his left foot. Side foot finish into the bottom right-hand corner. And yeah, we started really well. Wolves didn't know what to do. They couldn't end up getting to grips with us. And, we had a couple of other chances. Saka puts a ball to the back stick. That Jesus should really score. But he ends up from about 4 yards out, putting it over the bar. Odegaard puts a lovely ball in that Trossard comes steaming in from the edge. Unbelievable control to bring it down and end up getting a shot off. So I'm not actually going to blame Trossard too much for not scoring that goal, because it would have been technically an unbelievable goal, but he done so well to actually end up getting a shot off. And yeah, we were comfortable in the first half. Second half starts. Wolves naturally going to have a little bit more possession, trying to make things happen than they did in the first half. And Arsenal probably took their foot slightly off the gas and were coasting. But we still created big chances to finish the game. Especially a Trossard chance. Odegaard puts the ball through. Lovely ball through. Trossard 1-on-1. Tries to go around the keeper. Ends up hitting it off the keeper. And then comes to Saka. He should probably be more composed. Could probably square it to Nketiah, who then has a tap in. But yeah, chances then ends up getting squandered. And then Zinchenko just gives them a chance. And yeah, gives them a chance by giving away a sloppy ball in the edge of the box. Semedo gives it to Cunha, who then curls, to be fair to him, a lovely left-footed finish into the far corner. Raya couldn't stop it. Then it makes it a little bit nervy from there. But then even saying that, we then get a chance pretty much straight after they score. Again, Martin Odegaard driving through the middle of the pitch, slips Nketiah in. And he has to score, simple as. He actually has to score. Basically the same chance Trossard had earlier on, which Trossard had to score. This time Nketiah hits it inside of the post. It's not the worst attempt, but has to go in. Hits the inside of the post and flies out. Anyway, we end up seeing it out for a 2-1 win. And yeah, big 3 points for Arsenal. I'd said before in my preview, Wolves are not an easy team at all, and they do cause problems. But I think in the whole, we done very well to actually stifle them today and didn't really give them much. But the man I want to talk about more than anything is the man I highlighted in my preview video, and that's Martin Odegaard. The guy I said I think needs a really big game to get his season going properly. And today he looked like Martin Odegaard from last season. He was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. He was really good on the ball, kept the ball well. And he was playing them passes where he was creating. Like this season, I feel like he's played very safe a lot of the times. A lot of times he comes back, just plays it to the side, and you know, he's not really getting, I don't know whether it's the space or maybe he just touches haven't been quite right to be playing them killer balls, but today he did, and he should have had minimum 2 assists, if not 3, on top of his goal. And yeah, really good, encouraging performance from him. If I'm him in the after full time, in the dressing room, I'm having Nketiah and Trossard up by the scruff of their necks, because they've cost him 2 assists today. And you know, his assist numbers, Odegaard, for the chances he creates, I feel quite sorry for him because his assist numbers aren't very good, and he creates some really, really good chances where his teammates end up letting him down. But also, let's talk about his goal. I mentioned it earlier. Brilliant bit of team play, and like I said, it's just a classic Martin Odegaard goal. And for people who watch Arsenal support Arsenal, just by me saying that, you will know the type of goal I mean. Like I said, just hangs on the edge of the box as it's building up, side foots it in, and essentially ends up being our winning goal. But yeah, just overall a much better performance from him than we've seen this season, and hopefully he kicks on now when he starts producing performances week in, week out, like he did for the majority of last season, where he was probably our player of the season. He was our player of the season, in fact. He was incredible. And also, we got to have a brief chat about Bukayo Saka. Again, scores an important goal to open the scoring. That's now 5 goals, 5 assists in the league. And he's just an unbelievable player. He just really is. And today, I feel like, was his best overall performance maybe in the league this season. Because a lot of times this season, as we've discussed previously, he's just been putting up the numbers when it matters, which is obviously a great habit to have, but he's maybe not been at his best in terms of overall performance. But today, he was beating his man quite consistently with ease. You know, he was good on the ball, he was winning the ball back. I just think his performance was overall a much better performance than we've seen from him this season. And just another couple of players to touch upon. Tomi, again, played brilliant for me. Really, really was good. Defensively solid, good on the ball. He's got such a good left foot, Tomiyasu. It gets him out of trouble sometimes. If he gets caught and he's under pressure and teams are sending him back, the way he can just switch a ball out or put it into the centre of the park on his left foot is the one thing I say he has over Ben White, and maybe he's defensively one-on-one slightly better than Ben White. But really good performance from him. But unfortunately, he did go down, holding his calf. Hopefully it's nothing. Hopefully it's just a precaution. But this is the problem Tomiyasu has had at Arsenal. He does pick up too many little knocks and it just stifles him. And it'll be a shame if now he's out for a period of time, because he started to look back to his best when he first come in to the Arsenal team a couple of seasons ago, where he looked really, really good. So hopefully it's not a big thing. I was literally thinking the other day, it's got to be Tomiyasu due to have an injury soon. And unfortunately, it looks like it might have happened. But fingers crossed it's nothing too serious. But the main guy I want to talk to, who in a weird way was a positive and a negative today, was Zinchenko. Again, overall, good performance. Technically, such a good player. Such a good player. So, like the way he just gets the passes through the lines, he touches, he sets up the second goal, Odegaard's goal. So, nice assist from him. Overall, he had a good performance. But there's always that one or two times in the game, but it's definitely always minimum once, when Zinchenko, I don't know if it's like a concentration, a bit of, he gets too comfortable, maybe a tad arrogant, but he just always gives the opposition that one chance to get them back in a game, and it drives me fucking mental. And he done it again today. Declan Rice comes and intercepts the ball like Declan Rice does, and he's just so too lax on the ball, and then he ends up losing it, and then they score, and it gives them a chance, and it drives me mad. Maybe if Tomiyasu had stayed fit, Zinchenko would have come off earlier. Maybe Tomiyasu would have went over to the left. But is Zinchenko slightly a problem for Arsenal? I don't know, because he does so much good for us. He really, really does. But on the ball, he's amazing. The way he gets us ticking, he's great. But just always gives teams that one chance, and it's so frustrating. And I see a lot of people talking about him playing in midfield. I've even sort of called to see it, if he'd be any good in midfield. But I don't know if that eradicates the problem in his lapses of concentration anyway. And also, I don't think he gets the time if he starts in midfield that he does when he starts from left back coming in, because he creates an overload, obviously, from left back when he's there. So, I don't know. Weird one, Zinchenko. Really weird one. He's a key member of the squad, he really is. And, you know, home games, especially against the lesser teams, I think you need him. You need him to open teams up. But you just got to get that out of his game, man. But what, he's like 25, 26 now? Chances are that's never going to change, these little lapses of concentration. But, yeah, frustrating performance because he was so good. It was so good. And just that last little thing, it just dampens everything. It dampens his performance, dampens the team's performance, makes the scoreline look tighter than it is. It, you know, it kills Raya's clean sheet and his clean sheet. You know, he's a defender as well. He should be absolute desperate to keep a clean sheet. But I don't feel like he is sometimes. So, yeah, that's just a bit of a frustration I have with Zinch. But I don't want to be too harsh on him because I do think he played well overall. Yeah, just to finish off, go to my player ratings. Ray, I'll give a standard 6. Didn't have much to do. What he did do, he done well when he couldn't stop under goal. So, yeah, I'll give him a 6. Tomi 7, was good. Unfortunately, come off. Fingers crossed, nothing. Saliba and Gabriel, I'll give them a 7 as well. Both solid, as usual. Saliba, actually, he got booked in this game, and that's his first yellow card in 14 months. For a centre-back, that is some going. He's so good at reading the ball. You know, timing his tackles right there. It's taken him 14 months to pick up a yellow card in the league. So, yeah. Zinchenko, see, I would have given him like an 8 probably before. But now I think I've got to knock it down to a 6 just because he made the game harder for us than it had to be. And as well as he done for the assist that ended up technically being our winning goal, he could have cost us. So I've got to give him a 6. Declan Rice, 7. Again, just does what Declan Rice does, wins the ball back, so good on the ball. There was one point Jesus should have put him in and he probably would have had a goal and that boosted him up to an 8. But just overall great performance from Declan Rice. Yeah, Odegaard, I thought Odegaard was the best player on the pitch by a long way. Like I said, back to his old self, creating chances, scored a goal. Great performance, going to give him a 9. Trossard I thought was really good actually. And what I thought was good about Trossard, man, at times he was getting back and nicking and winning the ball back. He looked good in that position, and I do think it could work at home in playing in that left 8. I just don't know if it works away from home against some of the tougher teams. But yeah, I'll give Odegaard a 9. I'd give Trossard a 7 probably. Saka I'll give an 8. Scored the opening goal and was just good. Jesus, again, he had 2 good moments in terms of he was quite integral to both of the goals. So for that, I've got to give him a 7. But again, he missed a sitter. Another time I said he could have laid him Rice in his shot. It was a tame, poor shot. He's just not the same player at the moment in the Premier League as in Champions League. But overall, he was fine. I'm not going to be too harsh on him. 7, and Martinelli probably a 7 as well. Was beating his man quite often. Ended up hitting the post at one point. Unlucky, you know, could have had a goal. Nothing sensational. And the subs, I don't think any of them were on long enough to even give him a proper score. So I'm not going to bother. But I will say I think Nketiah had to score that chance. And the fact he didn't, if I was rating him, would knock him right down because that could have killed the game straight after we've given him a little bit of hope. If he just buries that, it's done, you know. And then there ain't no nervy moments. But yeah, overall good performance from Arsenal. Should have been better. Should have been 4 or 5. And then, you know, this is a much different sort of after match video. But overall, good performance. 3 points on to Tuesday when we play Luton. And yeah, pre-match for Luton probably be out Monday. And yeah, should be hopefully another 3 points. But yeah, please do leave your comments. Let me know what you think, if I'm being too harsh on Zinchenko, maybe a couple of the others. Like, comment and subscribe, and please do share the video. Thank you. Bye-bye.